Hi, it's Matthew here, and today I'm just going to go through a few points on a video by MeetKevin and also Gerber from Gerber Kawasaki. He has a assets under management of 1.8 billion US dollars, and MeetKevin did an interview today and had a chat with him and went through lots and lots of very, very interesting things. So if you're interested to get my quick summary on it, stay tuned. Also, link below if you just want to watch the video. I recommend you take a look at this. So, with the interview, MeetKevin first started off with asking the question where's to his heart was Tesla and Bitcoin. And the first thing he said that Tesla is obviously good, coring the energy market and transportation, but however now it's a bit overvalued. There's some recent corrections, about 20%, but he still thinks it's a bit overvalued now, and there are other plays in the market where he will look at. Also within terms of Bitcoin, he believes that Bitcoin is a hedge against governments. He started his investment fund mostly after 2008 crash, when the world lost faith in the governments and also the bailouts of Wall Street. So that was when Bitcoin started to grow. And see, live view. This is the PLA army. I'm next to PLA, which is the Chinese army barracks here, airport in Shekong. So I have military helicopters fly across me every day. They're not after me. Don't worry. No major issues. It's great to be next to a base, being safe. Okay, and also in terms of the Bitcoin, if the worldwide government, what Bitcoin loves, or he believes, is that with government changes and with insurrections and so forth around the world, that a lot of people flee towards Bitcoin to use their currency of change. For example, say countries with strife, they have to have the assets held up in Bitcoins much easier than running around with gold, and definitely a property in bank accounts will definitely be frozen. So that is one area where he thinks the Bitcoin value and why it's been going up. And also with the US Fed being monetary irresponsibility, that is one big issue, and also political instability. These are reasons why Bitcoin has been going up now as well. And then we move in terms of what he's been looking, so he's given some tips now in terms of where he's also investing, apart from keeping to his core areas. His core areas really is the idea is also just to hold long, to keep holding on to American shares. He believes in Apple. He had Apple since it was a long time ago. He believes Apple is great because in terms of the usage, normal Apple user uses their phone for 6 hours a day now, and Apple's ecosystem is very sticky, so it's very hard to get away from it once you've started. I'm also an Apple person as well, from the iPad, the iPhone, the MacBook, and it's definitely, with the cloud ecosystem, once you put a photo up, it goes down everywhere. It's actually very, very sticky. I agree with that as well. He also believes in Disney and Google, and also Amazon and Nvidia, and also Home Depot. Home Depot is one area he's quite interested in, because when people are moving, Home Depot, if there's any natural disaster, people go Home Depot. If they want to build and moving, also Home Depot is an area which is booming right now. So, and he believes in obviously holding is the key. And obviously in America you have what's called a Roth IRA, which is obviously a tax system whereby it helps with the tax, and obviously wherever you are, what jurisdiction you're in, the government you also have to look at tax issues, which is very, very important. That's why in Hong Kong we're not taxed with the American tax, because we have no tax rate in Hong Kong, so any capital gains tax isn't taxed, which is one great thing to look at. And obviously with Tesla, he's been holding for a long time, so he's holding when Tesla was, I think, $100-something, and he's holding for 4 years and it's going steady, nothing's going up. But then once it hit up, everyone said, well man, you're a Ross, you're a genius. But obviously for the previous 4 years he was called an idiot for holding for so long and didn't believe in Elon Musk's vision, and fifth year when it goes up, he's called a genius. So that's with investment, he said it's very tricky, and it's very hard to guess when the market is going to be right. But he believes equity can't go wrong. However, doing options tradings is something that can't go right, because with options tradings the risks are definitely very, very high, and that links up with Robinhood and how he believes Robinhood is a very, very bad business model. Because if you've seen the recent the news about how the I guess the Wall Street overflow money from the spreads on the trades that are made, by doing margins, they make a huge killing in terms of the trade. And obviously it ends up becoming like a casino, and they want these young kids, they're getting all their little savings and little borrowings, and they want to make money quick. It's the gamified options, and to make it fun, so you get confetti blowing up when you buy option trade, you make some money, and but they sell it as a no-free, like a no commission-free trade. However, it's not. It's money's earned in the background, and it's not open. So he thinks that Robinhood IPO coming up soon is going to be a disaster, because they're saying regularly so going to be a lot of class action lawsuits coming up, and to be able to run that business as they are currently is going to be very, very tricky. And he also goes back in terms of certain tips where he believes it's going to be very, very good, is the move to USA farming, American farmland, and also in terms of equipment as well, because he believes with the trade deficit with China's earning too much, and all American can really do is really offer them trade for grains made in America, because China's appetite for purchasing grains from USA is the greatest. And he believes in investing in companies like John Deere, the tractor company. I just checked it out, though, it's pretty high. Since in 12 months it's already gone up, I think one times. But however, it even got more. And he's looking at obviously the PE ratios, which is a low as well. Also believes in JP Morgan. The JP Morgan, the banking companies, if the PEs, all the PE, high PE companies drop, they're definitely raising in terms of and also the interest rates are going down. There's always a correlation between tech companies and banking stocks. And he also invests in Uhaul. So there's a lot of people are moving now, traveling between interstates, because certain states of California don't like the taxes there, and they want to move to Austin, Texas, which is the big thing now. And then he believes in investing in those areas. So back to looking at lower PE stocks, because with high PE stocks in the tech firms, like all the major ones we just mentioned before, even Apple, Disney, Google, those PEs are very high. There's going to be a correction as interest rates go up, and that's based on just simple future projected earnings, basing on higher interest rate. So it's going to be much harder for them to hit those targets. And then he goes back into, he believes in Coinbase. Coinbase is going to have an IPO soon as well. Coinbase is for cryptocurrency trading, because they have it's coming up soon. It hasn't been announced, or has been announced, but not yet officially confirmed. But because every transaction Coinbase does on crypto is 2% commission, and he believes a valuation on that, on a $90 billion trade every day, and he believes that that's going to be a $50 to $100 billion valuation once that you can buy into that company. And he's also he went into a lot of issues in terms of how casino business is with Steve Wynn. He knows casino business very well, and especially one thing interesting in blackjack. He says the house always wins 20%, but the player wins 2%. So the house always wins 10 times more than the player. So that's why the key with blackjack and casino business is keep you playing, similar to what they're doing in Robinhood now, in terms of the gamifying your margin trading, stock trading on these apps. They make it fun. They want to keep you trading, because the more you trade, the more you're going to lose to the house. That's how he links that as well. And he's very big on the EV and lithium market, and also solar. But what he's doing is he's buying direct into ETFs, so exchange traded funds, which are specializing in lithium batteries. There's one called LIT, and also for solar, TAN. Because he believes there's not going to be enough batteries for all these EV and battery, all these companies going to use solar and energy storage. And even if you listen back to Elon Musk on this battery day, he also mentioned that he's telling all the CATL in China, Samsung, everybody else, based on his formula batteries, if they can make as much, he'll take as much as ready. And also Tesla has the advantage of having their own battery manufacturing. So the source of batteries, and also for the raw materials, is very, very hot. It's almost maybe it's too hot already, so it's something to look at. NFT, so the non-fungible tokens, which is also part of the crypto space, in terms of how they're going to digitize all things that's going to be with blockchain. So you can buy blockchain, you can buy an NFT of this video even. I can put this out there and sell it as an NFT if anyone would want to buy it, and you create value from that. But obviously what he mentions there as well, NFT seems like what it was at ICOs of the old days when Bitcoin had its previous peak. ICO was the trend. Every Tom, Dick and Stanley came up and said, I want to do an ICO for this and an ICO for that, which is similar like IPO, but it's getting money to fund certain projects. And he feels that this is also another potentially sign of a topping out when things going to crash. But obviously, if you go around through listening to NFT experts, and they're saying, obviously, if people with reputation back digital art and digital videos and music, like NBA is backing the hot shots, the pictures of videos of the best NBA shots, and actually selling those. If NBA's backing it with their money in their mouth and the value, maybe. No one knows it. This could be something very, very big, very valuable, but there are a lot of issues happening there as well. And he also goes into millennials and how they love the shared economy, but they also believe that with the shared economy, it's very beautified, it's very Woodstock. He didn't mention Woodstock, but it's very, everyone, they sort of love the sharing economy, share a car, share a house, share this, but then they don't believe with similar to NFTs, like it was also very sharing. However, there are a lot of crooks in this world, and he believes that they're going to get ripped off like the previous ICO investments. And he also mentioned here why he sold part of his Tesla, even though he mentioned that you should keep holding on to those growth stocks. Obviously, we had the high PE ratio, the fall of that potentially, and also Barry says he sold it because he wanted to buy some property for his family, and you're twice as done if you make a 10x your stock. However, if you don't sell it, so you don't want to be done by not realizing a profit, is what I believe he says. If you've really made a huge gain from certain stocks. SPACs. So one thing he mentioned that MeetKevin asked Ross was about SPACs, Virgin Galactic, Nikola and QuantumScape, and he was very skeptical on all of these because he mentioned that with the SPACs, all you're doing is giving a company existing billions of dollars into an idea or a rumor that something's going to happen, and everything's based on rumor. Even if it's got backed by someone very well, they haven't got, some of them don't have products. Virgin Galactic hasn't even got something that can fly yet. They got the space. Nikola had a truck sample which didn't work. QuantumScape is another one, and which is also with battery tech as well. And also how you can, if you got into these SPACs very, very early on with institutional investors like BlackRock at $10 US per SPAC, which is his belief of the base average price. Anything above 10 is a premium you shouldn't get into unless it's a risky bet. So don't put your eggs in there. Also he mentions as a Buffett in terms of how, and also his philosophy. Buffett says only 20, if you had a card, you punch it 20 times in your life, you hit 20 times right, and you're going to be wealthy. Ross says 3 to 4 good ideas each year is all you need. You might have 30, 50, 100 ideas, all you need is 3 or 4 ideas. Don't try to do too much, and try to And he's also said he sold all his Peloton stock to buy a cheaper version, FRX, which is a cheaper version of the bike riding system, which already has part of a SPAC. This is one SPAC that he did buy into because he believes that already had existing customer base, 1 million users in the fitness area already, and it's converting, and also adding 2 new Disney executives with great experience, which can run the business. So why pay for an overpriced Peloton, 48 billion, which is valuable 48 billion, when you can get something in at ground at 2 billion? So FRX. Obviously, this is all just what I'm listening to him and what he's saying. It's sort of his opinion as well. These opinions, not investment advice. So just go and have a look at it and understand it as well. And he mentioned that Warren Buffett should retire. That he sort of past his experience. He's got the experience. However, he's also maybe too conservative in his approach. If you saw yesterday, he had his annual report come out, and he's just bought uses 130 billion to buy another $30 billion back of his own Berkshire Hathaway stock. So he's just putting buyback, and he hasn't really invested that much in other companies because he hasn't seen the opportunities there. And think the PE is obviously too high, which it is. But yeah. And yes, and then he mentioned about Facebook and how Facebook's in trouble once Apple is closing off, gating off Facebook, and how Facebook can use data from its Apple users as well. And he believes that Facebook steals a lot of information, spies and listens to you based on the app, and that ad revenue is going to drop significantly, making the Facebook stock value drop. So, and then so when the economy improves with COVID vaccines, he believes that with both vaccines coming up, the economy will improve, stock market, everything, inflation will improve, which is great for the market, and however, the PE prices of high PE stock prices will fall, so there will be a readjusting and a rebalancing. And when you invest, don't just stick to don't be a one-track pony, is what he said. And for example, say Kathy Woods, he loves Kathy Woods, and also Ron Barron. So he likes Kathy Woods, but Kathy Woods leaves ARK Invest, and she invests all in the futuristic ideas and future value and what company's going to bring. And but he mentioned don't put all your eggs into one basket. So Kathy Woods is very, very bullish. She's even given a $5,000 target price for Tesla, which is considerably higher than what it is right now, based on auto taxi and auto driving, which Ross doesn't think is going to happen anytime soon with the regulation, which is a fair one. Okay, so I'll leave for that. Hope you enjoyed. Please watch the video to get the specific details and how he says it. It's very energetic, lots of fun. It was very dynamic. A few swear words in there, so if it's in children watching it with you, please note that as well. But definitely worth a watch on this video. Thanks. Cheers. Have a great day. And if you like what you see, tell me below if it's really good, if it's even worth watching. And obviously much smarter too. If you want to join it, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Ciao. Bye.